Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 136. Obviously, we did do one yesterday, reacting to Brentford, worst game of the season. So yeah, do make sure you check that one out if you haven't already. And we are definitely hoping for a performance and expecting a better performance than that. Well, obviously, we are taking on Arsenal. Obviously high flying, obviously top of the league at the moment. But yeah, like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. Hope everyone's cool. Hope you're well.
Yep, no, I'm all good. I hope you're well as well. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So obviously, we're taking on Arsenal, like I said, at Kenilworth Road, another one of the so-called top six coming to Kenilworth Road. Obviously, we sit 17th still. Despite that defeat against Brentford, obviously on 9 points. Everton and Burnley, obviously 2 points behind us. Obviously, Everton have got Newcastle, which will be a tough game. And then Burnley have got Wolves tomorrow. They play a bit earlier than us. Like I say, Arsenal top of the league by 2 points after Liverpool's win against Fulham. So yeah, they were 4 points clear before Liverpool and Man City played, but obviously Man City, obviously dropped 2 points in away, obviously against Tottenham. But yeah, bit of insight going into it, and to be fair, a lot of these actually favour us. These ones, which is obviously good to hear from our perspective. So this is the first meeting between Luton and Arsenal in any competition since December 1991. And that was a 1-0 win for the Hatters at Kenilworth Road in top flight. Arsenal are winless in their last 10 away games against Luton in all competitions, drawing 6, losing 4, since the 2-1 league win in January 1984 under Don Howe. So again, another one that factors us. Arsenal have won 6 of the last 7 games when facing a side in the Premier League for the first time, though the exception was a 2-0 defeat at Brentford in their first such match in August 2021. Yeah, I remember that game. I think we actually watched that game together, actually, Dad, thinking about it. But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Obviously, that was Brentford's first time, like they say, in the Premier League. Luton have won just one of their last 14 league games against sides starting the day top of the top flight table. Drawing 4, losing 9, beating Liverpool 3-1 in February 1991. This is their first such game since a 1-1 draw with Man United in April 1992. And then the last one, Arsenal have won over half of their Premier League games played on each day between Friday and Monday, 55.7% overall, but have a win rate of lower than 50% on each day between Tuesday and Thursday, 48% overall. So there is a few there that actually, do swing our favour. Sometimes you do have to look at these stuff. Look at, for example, games that have happened over the weekend. The Man City one, Tottenham tend to do well. Obviously, I know they've got loads of injuries, but they've got a draw. Out of that, they always do well. So, games like that, for example, I knew that'd be close. I did say 3-2 City. I was close, but stuff like that. Even a Liverpool game, I think that's a clear one for us that you've got to look at. And, when you look at history books in that sense, obviously they haven't, beat us for a while. Granted, we haven't played for a while, but in recent times, before the 1-1, they struggled at Kenilworth Road, and Arsenal struggled more than Liverpool did. So you've got to look at stuff like that sometimes. But yeah, a bit more of a preview going into it. A massive Premier League week at Kenilworth Road awaits, starting the visit of top of the table Arsenal on Tuesday night. Obviously, it's live on Amazon Prime Video. In the UK, Rob Edwards Hatters have found their home comforts after securing their first Premier League home win against Crystal Palace over a week ago. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have enjoyed positive form at the start of the season with a 2-point lead at the top after victory against Wolves. It's back-to-back. I've got Arsenal games right, actually, last 2 weeks. A bit more on Arsenal. Arteta took charge at the Emirates Stadium in 2019, becoming the first former Gunners player to permanently manage the club since George Graham. A massive rebuild began after the departure of legend Arsene Wenger and disappointing tenure of Unai Emery, with Arteta finding instant success by lifting the FA Cup at the end of his first season. After missing out on Champions League football in 2021-2022, the Gunners redeemed themselves with a second-place finish last term. Arteta's men will be looking to go one better this season and go as far as possible in the Champions League. They confirmed their place in the round in 16 with a convincing victory against RC Lens. Saka will make his 200th appearance for Arsenal at Kenilworth Road if he is selected, which more than likely will be unless he gets an injury last minute. Obviously, like I briefly said, Luton Town took points from Arsenal at Kenilworth Road for the 10th successive time as the Hatters beat the Gunners on Boxing Day 1-0, 1991. And then Mick Harford found the only goal of the game in the second half after a great cross from substitute Scott Oates. Obviously, last time out, obviously, you know what happened for us. Injury news going into it. Now, it's quite interesting. This is what I was, looking for. Well, not looking forward to seeing, but, waiting to see more so. Obviously, Lockyer and Menji will be doubts for Tuesday night after both going off with injuries. But I've heard more so with the Lockyer one, it's more they're going to see what he's like tomorrow. That's what I've seen more so with him when it comes to that. So he could still be in. Doughty did not make, obviously, an appearance on Saturday, but he is close to a return. So hopefully, if it's not tomorrow, then Man City. Nakamba is not expected to be available, which is gutting because, like I say, he is the only current CDM we have at the moment. Pelly Ruddock wasn't great the other day. Ross Barkley, he's done really well there, but it's not his main position. We're going to have to make do with, it is what it is. Lokonga is obviously cannot play because obviously it's his parent club. And Dan Potts returned to full training last week following his injury, but if he is in, he'll be on the bench most likely. Unless obviously Lockyer or Menji are not available, then you might have to put him in. Woodrow, Burke and Anderson all remained sidelined, which obviously is annoying because, again, that's two more centre-backs. The referee for our fixture against Arsenal will be Sam Barrett. 57 yellow cards and 2 red cards have been handed out by Barrett across his 15 games this season. Luton Town last had a game run by Barrett when we completed our remarkable comeback at Forest. Obviously, we know that game very, very well. Assistant referees Harry Leonard and Nick Hopton, I think actually. Darren Bond is the fourth official. VAR Chris Kavanagh and assistant VAR Lee Betts. So that is that on that. But yeah, after saying all of that, injury news, how are you feeling going into it though?
Well, I feel it's going to be a performance. It's got to be a performance after the last game. Normally there is. So I expect that at the very least. Like I say, it all depends on who's starting at centre back tomorrow. That's going to be a key thing. But just going to base it on, Lockyer and Menji are both back. Doughty's back as well. So we'll just base it basically on that. And again, hoping for and probably formation like we played against Liverpool. Again, there's similarities there with Arsenal haven't beat Luton at Kenilworth Road for 39, 40 years. We're a bit of a bogey team to them. Yeah, they're top of the league at the moment. Yeah, this, that, and the other. But these are the games you've got to try and put a decent performance in, regardless, and make them work for the win at the very least. So as long as I see that, then I'll be happy. And that's all really, considering we've got Man City next. It's a balance as well. If you put in such a good performance, are you going to be able to do it then again against a team that's at the moment, luckily they're playing tomorrow, I think, or Wednesday. And they're going to be angry after their last result. So that's going to be interesting. But we can score against these teams still. They are vulnerable at the back, as a lot of Premier League teams actually are when you think about it. So yeah, just as long as we put in a good performance, so you can ask for really. Do you know what I mean? No one's expecting us to roll them over. And that's it. And we know the injuries we've got, and it could even be worse. You know, if we're going to have to be starting Bell, and possibly even Potts. You know, two players Potts ain't even played this season.
No.
Aren't proven. Bell, we know he's not good enough in that, especially against the top teams. We'll have to. You'd be better off playing attacking because
seriously,
we defended them players like that. You know, relying on them. You know, I believe Kavinsky will be back to form. We are at home. It is going to be difficult. We've got to keep it tight. Obviously, you know, I expect us to play that similar way, like I said, against Liverpool. Keep it tight for the first 20 minutes and then see what happens.
Yeah. As for me, like I say, you know, history-wise, we have got a good record against them, and like I say, you do have to take that into account because it was the same thing against Liverpool, and look what happened there, sort of thing. But for me, it's just the thing that's just worrying for me is just, you know, who is going to be available at the back. You know, it's one of them because, like you say, if Potts has to come in, you know, it's not really ideal because he hasn't played in the Premier League yet. And against Arsenal, you know, obviously top of the league at the moment, so currently the best team. You know, if you're basing on that, for his first game, it's
yeah. And the thing is, like, it's just like, you know, the thing, you know, Osho and Menji both kind of come in, you know, over that period of Villa and Liverpool, and they wouldn't. But the thing is, they are centre backs, whereas we know that Potts potentially play there. But first game against Arsenal,
yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, we don't think he's good enough. No disrespect to him for the Premier League, anyway. But he can prove us wrong, but I just don't think so. And we know that Bell couldn't. He was struggling in the Championship in that position.
And even Potts did when we played Coventry at home. You
So
know, I remember that was one of the games I went to, and he got done quite easily.
I mean, it could be that it catches up with us. It could well be, you know, and all these, you know, football experts on Facebook, you know, in Africa and that, you know, oh, for now 5-0, 6-0, because they've been waiting for that. You've been waiting for that for 14 games. Every single game basically said that. You might get one right, but we've got a lot of injuries, so we'll see. We'll see. You know, we didn't come from the conference to the Premier League for far arsing around, did we? So let's see.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, for me, like I say, we do have a good record against them. You know, we do at home, and that is the thing. You know, even Luca, shout out to Luca, he did actually comment earlier. Obviously, I went on his channel earlier, and even he was saying, you know, it's literally what me, you, and Stephen were saying, Dad, for the Liverpool game, where it's not going to be easy for them because you know them players wouldn't have played at Kenilworth Road. They don't really know what to expect in that sense, you know, that sort of thing. And I do believe we will. Well, we have to perform better. You know, we have to because that Brentford game was
two things. The Brentford manager.
Just quickly before you say what you was going to say, Dad. Well, we are at home, and all our games at home have been tight. So I still believe it will be like that again, despite all the injuries and who might not be available, etc. But yeah, go on, Dad.
The Brentford manager, who's highly rated, he's come out and said, I was surprised how easy it was for them, how they dominated. Yeah. You know, he's an experienced manager. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. And again, Arteta's come out and said he knows Rob Edwards. They've done their coaching badges together at the same time. So he knows what he's about, and he respects him, and he knows it's not going to be just a walkover. You know, it can be any team can do anyone on any given day, but he knows he's not naive like that just to think, well, we're just going to turn up and do it. The players, he's got to get it into them players that you know, you've got to try and fight and work these openings and that and this, that, and the other, because they will defend, you know, doggedly, which is what we expect us to do. So we'll see, won't we? You know, praise from managers and respect from managers, etc. Says a lot. So that's what people have got to sort of take into account as well. The ones who are literally watching us and they're just, R5, do you know what I mean? We haven't lost like that yet this season. It's going to happen because we know it's going to happen at some point. We're not denying that, and it could happen with the amount of injuries we've got now. But we're at home. I just don't think it's going to happen yet. If it is going to happen, it'd definitely be against Man City because by then,
I think,
especially, I think that'll catch up with us a little bit. But there's no shame in that, is there? As long as it ain't no record-breaking win or anything like that, I'm happy for that. Sheffield United already got that this season, and then they've brought Wilder back. He ain't going to be able to save them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw that. Jamie has actually commented. We are joking a minute. Yeah, I saw that. Lewis actually sent it to me this morning, and then
he
didn't send it by Sky Sports, and then I was like, the account he sent it by is quite reliable, and then I saw it by Sky Sports not too long ago. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I don't think he's still going to struggle though.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's not like when they had that season where they weren't far off Europe. He's going to come in and they're going to be in that battle. And he's already went down with them. So I don't think
he has built this team. You know what I mean? He built that.
Yeah,
he built that other team.
That's the thing as well. Yeah.
But it is going to take long. It ain't going to be an instant fix. They might be all right because if they can get their quality players kicking on, then yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what they're like when we play them. Because we have to be going for that game as well. They do, so that should be a good game. Let's just concentrate on the next few games.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, big up to Stephen. He says big up Ty and Dazza. Big up yourself, mate. But yeah, it's like I say, I think we'll make it tight. Like I say, I expect a performance, and I did say it on Luca's channel earlier, do make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Obviously, Luca at AFC commented earlier. I was just literally searching that. And I said, I'll take, as long as the performance is there, I'll take it, especially based on the injuries as well. You don't know who's going to be available. Like when he went to ask me line up, it was so hard, doing it at the back. It still sort of is right now. I get more of an understanding, because when they say doubts, sometimes they do sneak in still. And like I say, I heard that thing about Lockyer earlier that Rob Edwards is apparently waiting on the fitness. So he'll wait tomorrow. That's what I heard earlier. Obviously, no interviews come out, on YouTube because that's what I usually watch it on. But yeah, stuff like that. And then, yeah, if he's in, I'll have a bit more of understanding. But I'll base it as if he is when I get to the lineup. But yeah, Jackie's in the chat as well. She says, hi, Ty Daz. We can't invite Arsenal 1 because we'll get beat 6-7. Yeah, it's one of them where we definitely cannot be that passive. And I don't think we will at all because we're at home, But it's like later on in the season, if we go to like the Emirates, the Etihad, Anfield, we can't be that passive because, them grounds, they just, what it's like. You've seen it. If you let them have the space, they'll punish you.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. Look at Fulham yesterday. All right, they didn't get a result, but they got 3 at Anfield, because they went at them. And if you're a Fulham fan, you're a bit gutted because Liverpool
could hardly scored any goals.
But at the same time, you've got to be proud. I think the last team to get through was Real Madrid. It's either Real Madrid or Brighton, but I can't remember if Brighton was the season before when Trossard got a hat-trick. So, they're quality teams, and their teams you'd say are better than Fulham. So, if you're a Fulham fan yesterday, you'd have been a bit gutted, but at the same time proud. And I'm not saying, let's go to Anfield and try and get 3 goals because it will be hard. But as long as we're not passive like we were against Brentford, for example, because Liverpool are much better, and when we go to the Emirates. But I just don't think we'll do that against Arsenal tomorrow because we're at home. You'll see more of that attacking frame of mind, especially like you say as well, Dad, with obviously the amount of injuries we've got defensively, it makes sense to go more attacking because we have them options. So there, put Townsend back in, and you've got players to come on. If you don't drop Morris, you've still got Brown to come on, Elijah. You've got a lot more options compared to defensively. So if we sat back with, say it was Potts' first game, it's too risky, especially against Arsenal. So, and obviously Bell in that left centre back, so it's not it's not the way we want to play it, but we have to, or we might have to. Sorry. So, yeah. Arsenal not being convincing at all, in my opinion, but they're top. So Luton should take encouragement. It's Arsenal that was exciting from last season. They're more digging results out. Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. Big up to Terminator Salo. He says, hi, Tyler. How are we? I'm all right. Thanks, mate. What about yourself? Jamie says he can't wait for the season to end. Really hope the Hatters win, as it's better for Liverpool to go top. Yeah, obviously it does help you guys. Hostel under the lights. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing as well. It's under the lights, which, our fans are, even better, I would say, under the lights. Obviously the games I've managed to witness over the seasons under the lights, it's a madness. So, and you've even seen it with, Liverpool, for example, that game this season, under the lights, even though that was 4:30, but still, it was getting dark and all that, wasn't it? So it's one of them. Only thrashing Luton will get is away to Liverpool or City, in my opinion. Mostly City time you play City, they'll be on winning run in that second half of the season. Yeah, lucky enough, we don't play until next season. Next year, sorry, at their ground. So I ain't got to witness that. But yeah, no, I don't want to say it, but they're the more than likely ones. Let's be honest. Yeah, no, exactly. Liverpool's goals were incredible as well. Absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, massive credit to Fulham still to get 3 at Anfield, definitely. But yeah, back onto this. Let's go into the lineup. So, like I say, it's going to be interesting because we're just basing it on what we do know, sort of thing. So obviously, I'll start off first. Kaminsky in goal. At least that's part of the back three and goalkeeper that isn't hard to wonder and think. Obviously you've got to go with him. It's been phenomenal. Couldn't have done anything about the goals the other day. Unlucky on the third goal. Premier League keeper, first choice keeper. Now the back three for me, based on what I know, I'm going to go Bell on the left side. Like I say, it's not ideal, but I'm going to base it on that. What I know. The middle, I'm going to go with Lockyer. I'll say he is back in this one. So like I say, I did hear that they're just waiting on fitness and they're going to wait until decide tomorrow. So I'm going to say Lockyer is going to be back in. And the other side, I'm going to go Osho. Osho again. But obviously on the right this time, obviously the last couple of games he's been out on the left. And then the wing backs, I'm going to go with... I'm going to start Giles in this one because we're at home. And it does sound like he's probably going to start more at home, if he does start games. So I'll go with him. The right side, I'm going to go with Kabore. I think it'll be good to use him as well because it might be like a Lukonga situation for Kabore against Man City when we play them, where he, probably won't be able to play because the parent club thing. So I'm going to go Kabore. Plus, he is obviously our right wing back, our only one. The midfield, obviously, are 2 CDMs. I mean, I did hear a few shouts for Clark, but I don't want to see that because he's not up to scratch still. He's still getting match sharpness, and also I don't really rate him as a centre mid. I think he's better as a cam. Another thing about him is he's not the tallest. So I remember even times in the Championship that long balls were played over. Don't get me wrong, he's jumping up to a lot of headers and winning them, but in the Premier League against Arsenal, no thanks. So I'm going to go Barkley. It's got to be, and even though he weren't great, you're going to have to go with Ruddock for me in this one. And then the 3 up front. Let me just change that around. So obviously it's like that. I'm going to go with this is probably the most straightforward one for me. I'm going to go Chio. Like I said, it did look like he was maybe carrying something, but nothing's come out regarding injury news or anything. So you're gonna stick with him for me. On the right, I'm gonna go with Townsend. I'm gonna put Townsend back in for this one. Obviously building up to the game as well. He's been on doing quite a lot of interviews for this game as well. His experience, I feel, it could benefit us in this one. And then bring Chong on as impact. And then up front, I'm gonna drop Morris, and I'm going with Jacob Brown. Obviously, he's got 2 out of 2. For me, I don't need to keep saying what I'm saying on Morris, but Brown, he'll be able to get, he's that player that likes to get in behind, get in the box, and have them chances. So, yeah, I'm saying that as my lineup. So yeah, Dad, any changes you'd make?
That wouldn't surprise me. That's sort of potential. But I'm basing mine on like all the players being back and also the way we played against Liverpool. So this is going to be my one. Yeah. So obviously Kaminsky in goal, yeah.
Yep.
I'm having the same back three. Osho, Lockyer, Menji. I'm having Doughty back in there. The midfield is going to be, 5 across the midfield and 2 up front. So I have Barkley and Chio in there as well, but they'll both be getting forward where they can. And then Ruddock, I guess, is going to be there. It's quite ironic because I think he actually supports Arsenal.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's said that. Yeah.
And yeah, Kabore obviously going to start on the right, and then on the 2, I'm not going to drop Morris because I still think he's effective more at home, and if we play the right way, then he could be all right. So I'm going to have him and Brown up front.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So because this is kind of the way we sort of played against Liverpool a little bit, but obviously we would drop him back if we needed to. Obviously we had the Canberra in there, I think, and Chio was up front. But we haven't got the Campbell, we haven't got the Conga. Do you know what I mean? So Chio can play in that. Maybe that's the way I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't really want to drop him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But then it could be your fault. I just feel like against the better teams, that's the sort of how we probably might play. But we'll see. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, no, to be fair, it could even be a thing for Morris. As much as I've been saying, for me, it's time to drop him and that sort of thing. It could be a thing where he just needs someone with him. Oh, the camera's falling all over the gaff. But yeah, it could be one of them. It could be one of them for him, to be honest. So I wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, Jackie's on the same wavelength as you. She does agree with that. Your lineup. I say I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it, to be fair. Wayne, lads, big up yourself. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. But you can get a draw like you did against Liverpool. Maybe. I mean, it'd be sick. The only thing I do worry about, mate, and I keep saying it, is the injuries at the back. It's the only thing that's making me feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We might not, but we might because it's at home. It's 1 a.m. But it is that time. Score predictions. How are we feeling, Dad?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if we did end up getting a result, but I just think that the defensive injuries and the cover that we haven't got. If we get any injury, even if Lockyer and Act do start and they get their injuries continue, then we ain't got anyone to come off the bench. So I'm going to have to say 2-1 to Arsenal.
That's fair enough. We've had a lot of, them games at home this season, like 2-1 narrow defeats. Obviously, the West Ham game, the Burnley game, so we have had it a few times. As for my score prediction, I do think it will be tight. I do expect us to perform a lot better than we did against Brentford. You know, we're at home. All our games have been tight at home this season. But it's just the defensive injuries I worry about. You know, especially if someone like Potts doesn't have to come in first ever Premier League game against Arsenal, who are high flying. But you know, we do have a good record against them at home, so I'm gonna say it's a tight one. But Arsenal break that record and get the win. I'm gonna go for a famous 1-0 to the Arsenal, as they say.
They've won a lot of away games 1-0 this season anyway. So it wouldn't, well, I just feel like, we're coming to Premier League for games like this. Do you know what I mean? So at least part of performance. So,
Yeah,
it still happens, isn't it?
yeah, literally. But yeah, do get in your predictions. Jackie's gone for the same as you as well, prediction wise. He says, I think we'll lose 2-1, but I'm going to say draw. Yeah, draw would be brilliant. You know, draw would be brilliant. But yeah, Chris has gone with a draw, to be fair. He's gone with a 1-1, exact same as what he was against Liverpool. We definitely take that. You know, Arsenal top of the league as well. But yeah, I just think the injuries is what worries me at the back, that we might not get some sort of result out of this game. I'd be a bit more confident if we had Menji, obviously Lockyer for definite. And obviously, you know, if we had Doughty as well, Camber, but the Camber's, you know, not going to be in for sure, and the others are maybes. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. No, they absolutely do, mate. They absolutely do. But we will see what goes on. But yeah, any final things you'd like to say on anything, Dad?
Yeah, I think Barkley will get his first goal for us tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going with Barkley to score. Nice. I'm going to go. I'd love to say Ruddock to score, but I just don't. I mean, I'm just maybe thinking, because obviously he supports them. It'll be interesting to see how, if he celebrates what he does. But no, I'm not going to say Ruddock. I'm going to say. Thing is, I want to say Townsend, but I keep saying that and he doesn't. But to be fair, he didn't start last game, so I'm going to say. I'm going to go Chio. I'm going to go Chio to get a goal in this one. You know, if I was to go over goal, obviously I've said 1-0, but if we do score, I'll say Chio gets it. So yeah, no, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes on. See how City do. I mean, it's a difficult game. Villa obviously got very good home form, so it'll be interesting, that one. But City will be, like you said earlier, that it's sort of good that City have that game in the way, because they'll want to, you know, not right their wrongs, but they were frustrated with how it ended. You know, how the refereeing decisions ended and that sort of thing. So they'll want to bounce back, but it's not going to be easy, man. Especially at Villa Park. I know Villa dropped points against Bournemouth, but that was away. Do you know what I mean? I think at home they are pretty good. But yeah, that is that. That is the end of the Hat Show. Obviously, episode 136. So yeah, big up to all of you that tuned in. Obviously, do smash a like if you haven't already. We are currently on 11 likes as it stands. So big up yourselves. Do smash that like button if you haven't already. And yeah, do subscribe to the channel. Obviously, turn on the notification bell. I've got another subscriber on the extra channel as well. So big up, 103 subscribers on there now. So we've got over that 100 mark. So that's obviously good to see. Do follow me on everything else if you haven't already. Obviously, all of them are in the description. TikTok, the T-Boys TV on that. Obviously, my personal one as well. Same with Instagram, T-Boys TV, personal one. All of that. Twitch as well. You know, I do streams on there every now and then. Obviously, more so gaming ones, but do check that out. And also do check out, I've obviously pinned it, the channel I'll be going on later, Arsenal channel, to obviously preview the game again. And obviously do check out the one I did with Luca earlier, obviously just Luca AFC, and you'll find it there as well. Obviously that one was a bit more difficult when it comes to lineup wise, because I don't really know who was available, but still good to go on there, and big up to Luca for that again. And yeah, man, make sure you check this one out at 8 p.m. UK time as well. And yeah, obviously I will be doing a vlog from home again tomorrow with an Arsenal fan that has been on the channel before. So it's going to be good. Either way, and I just hope the performance is there. Otherwise, it could be peak. It could be peak. But yeah, no, obviously a vlog from home, and then we'll do a hat show reacting to it the day after or 2 days after, and then obviously we'll preview Man City on Friday, and then yeah, hopefully I'll have a Man City fan on for that one as well. That has actually been a Man City fan for numerous amount of years. I'm not half of them, but there we go. So yeah, yeah. Big up to Chris. Says great stream as always, lads. Big up yourself, mate. Big up to yourself. But yeah, we will see you in a couple of days for the next hat show. And yeah, I'll see you lot tomorrow from the vlog from home and 8 p.m. If you do tune into that, please do if you can. And we'll see you lot in a bit. So take care and peace up the town.
Peace.